I woke up twice in the same day, but everyone was different. The first time I woke up, it was to the soft glow of 6:15 a.m. on my bedside clock. Nothing unusual. My phone chirped with the same alarm tone I'd used for years. I silenced it with a practiced swipe, feeling the familiar grain of the cracked screen protector beneath my fingertip. Claire was still asleep beside me, her breathing deep and rhythmic. Her dark hair splayed across the pillow in that way that always made me pause to look at her. 7 years together, and that sight still gave me comfort. I slipped out of bed carefully, not wanting to wake her before her own alarm at 7:30. Morning routine, shower, coffee, news. The October chill had settled into the apartment overnight, and I could see my breath as I waited for the ancient heating system to rattle to life. Claire had been after our landlord for weeks to fix it. I made a mental note to call him again after work. "Morning," Claire mumbled, shuffling into the kitchen earlier than expected. She looked tired, dark circles under her eyes. "Couldn't sleep after you got up." "Sorry," I said, pouring her coffee exactly how she liked it. Splash of milk, no sugar. "Bad dreams again?" She took the mug with a nod. "Same one, the falling one." I knew the dream. She'd had it regularly since her brother's accident last year. I squeezed her shoulder gently before grabbing my keys. "Don't forget we're meeting my parents for dinner," she reminded me. "Right. Giovanni's at 7. I dreaded it. Her father had never warmed to me, but I kept that to myself. The commute was unremarkable. 40 minutes on the subway, pressed against strangers avoiding eye contact. My stop. The familiar walk to the office building. The security guard Marco nodded as I passed. "Cold one today, Mr. Ramirez." Work was work. Emails. Spreadsheets. My boss, Diana, stopped by my desk at noon to remind me about the quarterly report deadline. My colleague Sanjay asked if I wanted to grab lunch, but I declined, preferring to eat the leftovers I'd brought from home while scrolling through my phone. At 5:15 p.m., I shut down my computer and headed home. Nothing unusual about the day. Nothing that would explain what happened next. I woke up with a start, gasping. 6:15 a.m. glowed on my bedside clock. My phone chirped with its alarm. The same day was beginning again. Disoriented, I reached to silence the alarm, anticipating the familiar crack in the screen protector. It wasn't there. The screen was pristine. I turned to Claire's side of the bed, but it was empty. Not just empty, undisturbed. The pillow still plump, the sheets still tucked in, as if no one had slept there. "Claire," I called out, my voice sounding strange in the quiet apartment. No answer. I got up, noting with unease that the floor felt different under my bare feet. The hardwood was gone, replaced with plush carpet I didn't recognize. The bathroom wasn't where it should be. I found it eventually, across the hall, rather than adjacent to the bedroom. My toothbrush was there, but it was blue, not green. The face that stared back at me from the mirror was mine, but something was subtly off, a small scar above my right eyebrow that I couldn't remember getting. The kitchen held more discrepancies. Different coffee maker, wrong mugs, a refrigerator covered in photos of me with people I'd never met. In one, I stood with my arm around a woman who wasn't Claire, both of us beaming at the camera on what looked like a hiking trail. My hands shook as I picked up my phone. The home screen showed an unfamiliar layout. The contacts list didn't include Claire. Instead, most recent calls went to someone named Eliza Heart Eyes. I called the number for my mother, the only one that seemed unchanged. She answered on the third ring. "Alex? Everything okay? You never call this early." "Mom," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "Where's Claire?" A pause. "Who's Claire, honey?" My stomach dropped. "Claire, my girlfriend. We've been together for 7 years." Another pause, longer this time. "Alex, you've never introduced me to anyone named Claire. Are you feeling all right? Did you and Eliza have a fight?" "Who is Eliza?" I demanded, panic rising in my throat. "Your fiancé," my mother said slowly, concern evident in her voice. "You proposed on her birthday last month. The wedding is in May. Alex, you're scaring me." I hung up, unable to process what I was hearing. My hands moved on autopilot, opening social media apps, searching for evidence of my life, my real life. There I was, tagged in countless photos with this Eliza person. Holidays, vacations, family gatherings, a life I had no memory of living. And nowhere, absolutely nowhere, was there any trace of Claire. I searched her name, found dozens of Claire Thompsons, none of them my Claire. Called the hospital where she worked. "No one by that name works here," the receptionist said briskly. The commute to work revealed more discrepancies. Different train line, different building, different security guard who greeted me by name as if he'd known me for years. My office wasn't mine. The nameplate read, Alexander Ramirez, Senior Analyst, a position I'd never held. My computer password didn't work until I tried my mother's birthday, a password I'd never used before. A woman I didn't recognize poked her head in around noon. "We still on for lunch, Alex? The team's heading to that new place on 7th. I nodded numbly, following the group of strangers who all treated me like a familiar colleague. They discussed projects I'd apparently worked on, made inside jokes I was supposed to understand, asked about wedding plans with Eliza. That evening, I returned to the apartment, my apartment but not my home. Eliza called, her voice warm and loving, saying she'd be home late. "Don't wait up. Love you." I sat in the dark for hours trying to make sense of it all. Had I imagined Claire? 7 years of memories couldn't be a delusion. The way she took her coffee, the falling dream, her father's disapproving stare, our plans, our arguments, our life together, it was all real, it had to be. Or was this reality the fabrication? Was I losing my mind? Having an elaborate hallucination? As midnight approached, I found myself hoping that sleep would reset whatever glitch had occurred in the universe, that I would wake up beside Claire, in our apartment, with the cracked screen protector and the faulty heating system and dinner with her parents to dread. But a more terrifying thought kept me awake. What if both realities were equally valid? What if, somewhere, Claire was waking up without me, confused by my absence, searching for traces of our life together and finding none? What if we were both lost, adrift in parallel lives that once intersected but had now diverged irrevocably? I lay down in a bed that was mine but not mine, beside a pillow that awaited someone I didn't know, and wondered which was worse, being forgotten or being the one who remembers.